Welcome to another episode of Mediazewtv. And this episode is about professional boxer Sean Zittel confronting UFC CEO Dana White on stage before the Canelo-Crawford fight about the Ali Act. Dana White is trying to put his hands over into the boxing world as he, alongside Turkey, promoted the fight. So he basically confronted him about extending the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act to cover his MMA fighters. Zittel is the guy who gained fame for a justified self-defense case, and he challenged Dana White on fighter pay, transparency, and why the UFC opposes similar protections for its athletes. And this is a clash between a fighter advocating for rights and the most powerful promoter in combat sports today. So before we get started, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And thanks again for your support. And let's get into it.
Dana, this fight, as you said earlier in the week, is set to be the third highest gate in combat sports history. The second biggest gate you've promoted alongside Mayweather-McGregor. The top 5 gates in combat sports history come in boxing, and they come in the last 10 years. So my question to you is, why then do you want to make sweeping changes to the Muhammad Ali Reform Act that is meant to protect fighters to bring about a business model that currently has your company already paid out $375 million in antitrust lawsuits and has 2 potential pending class action lawsuits on the way as well?
Well, this is obviously a long discussion. If you want to talk to me about that, set up an interview. This isn't about me and my business. It's about these 2 guys on Saturday night.
My follow-up, Dana, earlier this week, the California State Athletic Commission had a hearing about TKO trying to bring those changes to the Ali Act, and it was postponed 3 months.
Listen, I get it. You want to showboat right now. Set up an interview with me if this is really what you want to talk about.
It's America, baby.
If you have questions for these 2, ask them and you can set up an interview with me.
Dana, my follow-up is, if TKO can't make those changes to the Ali Act, will you still invest in the sport of boxing? Will you compete in the market?
Listen, if you want to be an asshole, let's do it in private and we can do an interview.
Yes or no?
If you want to showboat, I get it. If you have questions for these 2 that are fighting on Saturday, that's a different story.
Fight.
This isn't a discussion to have at a press conference for these 2 that are going to fight on Saturday, 2 legends. If you want to set up an interview with me and ask me these questions, let's do it one-on-one.
Sounds
and
good.
You can ask me anything you want.
All right. Well, Terrence and Saul, have a good fight.
So what is the Ali Act in boxing, basically? Okay, it's called the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act, commonly known as the Ali Act. Is a United States federal law that was enacted in 2000, and its primary purpose is to protect the rights and welfare of professional boxers by promoting fairness and transparency in the sport's business practices. It is named after the legendary heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali, who faced exploitation throughout his career. The law was created to address widespread corruption, conflicts of interest, and a lack of basic protections for fighters. And key provisions of the Ali Act are mandatory disclosures and transparency. Fighters must be informed in writing before signing a contract of all the proposed bouts' financial details. This includes the purse that they will receive, any bonuses that they are entitled to, any fees or charges that will be deducted from their purse, their licensing, their sanctioning fees, the promoter's share of the revenue. 2. Elimination of conflicts of interest. It is illegal for a promoter to also have a financial interest in a boxer's management contract, and vice versa. This prevents a single entity from controlling both sides of a fighter's career and exploiting them. It bans so-called tied contracts that force a boxer to use a specific promoter or service as a condition of getting a title fight. 3. Protection from coercive contracts. The act limits the enforceability of long-term promotional contracts. A contract cannot be enforced for more than 1 year if the promoter does not secure a bout for a boxer within that time frame. It gives fighters the right to terminate a contract if a promoter fails to comply with the act's disclosure requirements. 4. Sanctioning body regulations. Sanctioning organizations like the WBC, the WBA, IBF, and the WBO must disclose their championship criteria, rankings process, and any fees they charge to boxers. They must also provide a written explanation to a fighter if they are dropped in the rankings, reducing arbitrary and manipulative ranking decisions. 5. Health and safety protections. While not its main focus, the Act requires states to have basic safety standards, including medical insurance coverage for boxers and pre-fight physical exams. What the Ali Act does not do. It is important to understand the limitations of the Ali Act. It does not cover MMA or other combat sports. There have been many efforts to extend it to MMA, but so far they have not succeeded, thanks to Dana White. It does not form a union or guarantee minimum pay. It provides transparency but doesn't set fighter pay scales. It is not always strictly enforced. Enforcement relies on boxers who often lack the financial resources to sue their promoters for violations. In short, the Ali Act is a consumer protection law for boxers. It aims to level the playing field by forcing promoters and sanctioning bodies to operate with more transparency and to eliminate the blatant conflicts of interest that had long plagued the sport. So hats off to Sean Zittel for standing up and asking Dana White that question. And of course, he didn't want to answer the question, and he didn't want to answer the question because he doesn't believe in the Ali Reform Act, and you have the sport of boxing already fearing that him coming in as a promoter will try to get rid of the Ali Reform Act. But let me know what you all think in the comments below. And thanks again for supporting the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like, share, and subscribe button, go ahead and do that. And please remember to put God first, stay engaged, and stay informed. Peace.